This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Jim Schaller.
Welcome, good neighbors, to episode number 59 of the Good Neighbor Podcast, Estero. Today we have good neighbor Benjamin Major from Paw-radise, Estero. Benjamin, welcome.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, pleasure to get to know some people here in the community and then a little bit more about them. So why don't we just jump right in and why don't you share a little bit about what you guys do over there?
Yeah, of course. So we're a pet grooming business. We do pet retail. We have pet grooming. We have an indoor dog park. It's completely turfed in. I believe it's one of the first ones. And we have a cafe. We sell lattes, beer, wine. So just kind of like you, we're really trying to get the community together, but through dogs.
And that's what a better way to do that. Absolutely. So how did you get involved in this business?
My mom originally opened up the whole franchise. I mean, the store, it's independently owned. In 2009, it was, she had a vision. It was pet grooming, bakery for dogs, and then a little bit of retail. During the US 41, when they were adding the third lane, really killed our business because we were directly on 41. So we made a decision to move at that point in 2012, 2013 to a much bigger location where we actually had like a real retail floor space. And then we were able to increase our grooming, increase our bakery, just kind of make everything a little bit bigger.
Yep.
And then during COVID, I decided, I came on around 2017, kind of took over. And then during COVID or shortly after, I was like, hey, let's just get even bigger. So we moved again for a third time. And we're like, we have so much extra space. What do we do with all of this? Like we can have a big grooming area, but there, you can only have so big. You can only have so many people in one room. So we decided like, hey, we still want to do retail, but let's do a dog park. And then I was like, well, what do we do still with the extra space? And then it's like, hey, maybe we can sell beer and wine to these people when they're hanging out in the dog park. And then we kind of developed the idea. That's where the coffees came in the morning. We could sell breakfast sandwiches, and everything kind of just developed slowly into like this huge idea, which has been a really fun ride.
And it just keeps growing and growing. And I'm sure the pets and the animals and the dogs love it. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's fun to see the dogs come in and actually like run in. A lot of times people leave their dogs at a pet groomer's and they don't like to be separated. So like they fear like a vet, they fear going to the groomers just from being separated from the owner. But having this park and having the dogs being able to go somewhere and actually have a ton of fun, they're usually excited, and sometimes they get tricked into, being left behind for services. But at least they're always happy coming in, which is really nice to see.
That makes a big difference. Absolutely. So we've all had some type of, I want to say, challenge along our journey. Is there something that's maybe, you mentioned moving quite a bit. Is there something that's happened along your journey that maybe has put you look back now and say, hey, I'm in a better place because I went through that?
I can't quite look back into it. I think I'm living it.
You're right.
I think I'm in that challenge right now. The cafe opened up about a year and a half ago, and that's a completely different industry that I'm just not used to. We've done customer service, but this is a different type of customer service. You're serving them food and they have to really like it. The staff has to be good at cooking. They have to be great with the customers. I'd say opening up the cafe has been one of the hardest challenges from that aspect. And I'm living it right now. So, ask me in a couple of years what I've learned, and I'm sure I'll have some really good knowledge. But right now it's like I am living in that challenge. We're facing the challenges of a new business. It's like it feels like we've reset our clock for the third time. They say, well, businesses start becoming profitable after 3 to 5 years. So I feel like we're constantly resetting that clock. But we're also growing. So
And that's part of growing, growing and learning. And I have a background in the bar and restaurant industry too. And trust me, I know it's not easy. Much as running a dog grooming business along with it I'm sure it's very demanding. So are you seeing any
Yeah.
are you seeing any types of, I want to say trends within the industry with people and their pets?
Trends at the moment. Um, I'd say the biggest trend that we're seeing in the pet industry, not so much in the grooming industry, is definitely in the veterinary section. Um, I've been kind of just through hearing is like a lot of the prices are going really high for veterinary care. And we kind of see some of that reflect here as we take care of the pets, almost monthly. We see a lot of issues. We see a lot of people taking care of their own dogs instead of, um, trying to cure the situation instead of going to the vet and, taking out a couple $100s out of their wallet just for something that they're not sure. People are tending to try the natural route first because it's, they're hoping to kind of save some money. So going the natural route seems to be a trend, which is good for the retail because obviously we do sell some of those natural holistic things. And we're conscious of the economy. I mean, we're in Florida, so it almost feels like we're in a bubble. But we're conscious that things could go south really quick. That I'm not too sure. I don't do a market analysis of the whole country, but I know that there's a lot of places that are hurting, and it will probably get worse before it gets better. So we launched like a really cheap bath membership to try to capture and have an affordable way for people to be able to take care of their pets without having to spend the premium prices. So that's been very helpful for people that need to take care of their animals but don't have a massive budget, which taking care of your pet just from grooming can cost like anywhere from $600 to $800 a year.
Right.
So we're just trying to launch some more affordable packages in the it's hard to see what the trend is, but we're trying to kind of get ahead of it before we get caught with our pants down.
Right. And it's, and myself growing up, I mean, you never heard of it, but you hear of it now, like pet insurance. I mean, people have insurance, health insurance for their pets now. And it's like, where did that come from?
I know. And it's like, it's one of those things, you get a pet, you kind of think about it and you're like, oh, I don't do it. And then by the time you know it, your dog's already 4 years old and insurance costs like $1,000 a month.
Right. More than we pay.
And insurance is pretty crazy. I know.
So you are you from Florida originally then? This area?
I'm originally from Canada, Quebec.
Okay.
But I've been here since I was 4 years old. So I mean I don't have many memories outside of Florida.
Right. You've pretty much grown up here.
Yeah, in Estero specifically. Like I don't know if the viewers are familiar with the areas, but we used to live in Woodsmoke, which is a little campground. I think they just changed their name. They got bought out. And then we lived down on Corkscrew for, I went to Pinewoods Elementary and all the schools, in Estero. So I've been here for basically my entire life.
So you're pretty local, as local as it gets.
Yeah, I'm 4 years off from being, Florida
native,
flow grown.
Right? There you
Yeah.
go. So outside of work, I know this job is very demanding, and what you're doing is a big project. What do you do outside of work?
Outside of work, I mean, I got 2 kids at home, so that takes up a lot of my time. 2 young kids. I'm into different hobbies, just the typical Florida stuff. I try to rope in people to come with me. But really, like having this business and in its newer stage, it really sucks up a lot of my time. That's where the majority of my time has been going in. Yeah, more than I feel comfortable saying.
Right, but it seems like you're doing the right things because you're growing in the right direction. So is there one thing maybe that our listeners should know about, Paw-radise that maybe they don't know?
I'd say our cafe is a huge one. A lot of people think it's just like a dog bakery, but we do serve human food. We do make human grade dog treats. It's like 5 ingredients, but we do serve coffee, which we get locally as well from Cape Coral. There's a Java Doro. They freshly roast their coffee every day. We get a shipment in every week or every other week. We really have really good quality coffee. I would never be able to go back to any other kind of coffee at this point in time. I'm a big coffee drinker now. So I'd say our cafe is like, I think it's a hidden gem. It's a place that some people come in and work all day and they're super happy they have their dogs here. So I would say, aside, we do grooming, we have retail, but that's what makes us different.
It kind of sets you apart from everybody else out there, which is great. It's not just, hey, drop my dog off or whatever, but it's you guys are doing some great things. How would our listeners go about getting in touch if they're interested in coming by or dropping their dog off?
We try to be as accessible as possible. Google, our website, on Facebook, we're Paw-radise.com. On Facebook, we have a pretty big following, so if you put in Paw-radise, we should pop up. We're in every. If you just look us up, you'll find us.
Perfect. Any last words for our listeners?
No, I just appreciate having the chance to come on and speak to you.
Benjamin, I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. And if I had a dog, I'd be coming by tomorrow.
All right. Thank you so much.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Estero. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpestero.com. That's gnpestero.com. Or call 239-296-2621.